We all should have saw this one coming.
Hello, I'm Ryan Donato.
Hello, welcome back to another hard review, and I am here to talk about Wonka. It's on my shirt, baby. Let's go. I'm totally Wonka-pilled, and I have been from the jump. I'm a huge fan of both of the Paddington movies. Paul King is fantastic. I haven't seen Paul King. I think he did a movie back in the early 2010s or late 2000s. I have yet to see that, but I want to get to that as well. But all I know is whenever he is allowed to make a big studio family fantasy film about a beloved character, he knocks it out of the park. So Wonka stars Timothée Chalamet, who is Warner Brothers' little golden boy, star of Dune, which was supposed to come out a couple months ago. He was supposed to have quite the winter season here, but alas, that movie got delayed until March, and we are left with Wonka. A lot of people dissed on Wonka because of the trailer, and it looked too cringy, and the Oompa Loompa looks weird, but I maintained faith through it all, and my faith has been rewarded. Wonka is an absolute delight. A lot of talk about this movie's promotional material is that they were kind of hiding the fact that it is a musical, which they kind of are, but the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is a musical. You know, even the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Burton one, that's also a musical, and you see him dancing in the trailer, like, you know this is going to be a musical, right? Anyone who's paying attention knows this. And speaking of the music, I loved all of the songs. I'm between 3 different songs for which one's my favorite. Wish came out recently, and I was jumping for joy because there was a villain song in it, and there's a much, much better villain song here in Wonka, and that's one of my personal favorites. Also, I love the opening number, and then the number he sings with the little girl, the duet, where they got the balloons. Flurry of wonderful numbers that I will be listening to regularly going forward. Obviously, I think that Gene Wilder is the GOAT, and he is fantastic in that role, and he did it, 50-something years ago, and he absolutely nailed it. Charismatic, but he's creepy. He does so well with the musical numbers. Everyone knows the iconic story about how he wouldn't do the movie unless he was allowed to walk out with a cane and pretend to fall. Just one of the greatest performances of all time, so Chalamet has to go up against that, but Chalamet does have the benefit of being compared and contrasted with Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie. Now that movie holds a special place in my heart because I had 2 birthday party movies. You have your birthday party at the theater and you watch a movie. So I did a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and then I think the following year, the previous year, I did Madagascar, and wow, did I have a delightful childhood. Obviously the original is fantastic. Obviously it looks a little bit dated because it's been decades and decades, but I feel like it still holds up. The Burton take on the story is certainly distinct in its style, and I think that Johnny Depp really is going for something there. And I think there's a lot of value to be held in that movie, especially with a lot of the songs. But clearly, that one is the inferior of the 2, and then this one I feel like is much better than the Burton one, and maybe is close to being on par with the original. I think only time will tell on that. Tell you what, I just got out of Wonka, and I'd rather rewatch Wonka than watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. But Chalamet's performance does not reach the heights of Wilder's performance. Obviously, it's a little bit more palatable than Depp's, but I like what Timmy was going for with it. It feels different enough while still being able to feel connected to what is to come in the future, because it's very clear that this one is siding way closer with the original than with the Burton remake. The Oompa Loompa stuff didn't really bother me here. I don't think it looks great. I do think it is helped by the fact that Hugh Grant is super charming and it is kind of funny, and I do like the use of the Oompa Loompa song. That's like an integral cog in the machine when you're making a movie in the Wonka universe. All of his scenes are in the trailer though, so it didn't really bother me very much. There wasn't anything crazy brand new that I would react to. The production design of this movie is absolutely fantastic. Thank God I brought some candy into the theater with me, so I wasn't frothing at the mouth while watching this. And hey, by the end of the movie, it even had me tearing up a little bit. I think that this movie does a great job establishing who this character is, and it feels cohesive with what we're getting in the future. I did think that this movie was going to end on a little bit more of a sad note, because the Wonka character that we know from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is a very sad character, but here we are given a mostly happy story, which I think works for the tone of this movie, because it very much so is the same Paddington type whimsical, wonderful, delightful, happy vibe. Don't watch this movie if you do not like to smile. It's right up my alley. I'm wearing the t-shirt. You knew what was going to happen. This is a 5 out of 5 for me. I'm probably overrating it. It might be closer to a 4, but this movie might make my top 10 of the year. That's how much I'm in love with this movie. I do want to rewatch it right away, and that's how I know that I really love it. If you doubted Paul King, then you're an idiot. And I will be first in line to whatever he does next because he is the sweetest director working today. And that is why he is king. Thank you so much for watching this review. Like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what your favorite Roald Dahl adaptation is. This might be it for me now. I mean, it's not the BFG, I'll tell you that much. I actually am a pretty decent fan of the Witches movie, specifically the Anne Hathaway performance. I really enjoyed what she did with it. No one else cared about it, and it really doesn't exist because it was an HBO Max original. But HBO Max is a thing of the past. Oh my god.